Parsons of Antigo, serving the area with pride since 1935.
And welcome back to the Wolf River Realty and Breakfast Club. It is 7:31 on this Monday, April the 3rd, the very first Monday of the month. Hope your day is getting off to a great start. And let's welcome in my first guest this morning. She is a White Lake native and current resident. She has released a new single. It's entitled Good For You. That was released on Friday, and it is Jacleen Hess. Jacleen, good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate the donuts this morning.
Yeah, it's the Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
so
you know for other guests in the future. So
there you go. Yep. Always bring donuts from Quick Trip.
Yes, indeed.
There's a plug.
Yes, indeed. Yep, a very good plug this morning as well. Jacleen, as I said, glad you're with us here this morning. Your new single is called Good For You. We're going to be talking about that this morning. But first, let's give our listeners a little background information on yourself.
Yeah, so born and raised in White Lake, Wisconsin, small town. What is the population, like 352?
You got to be close.
Somewhere in there. Yeah, I grew up with horses and music being a huge part of my life. And the Northwoods, obviously, lots of hiking and cross-country skiing and all the things. But music was a big part of my journey and just a nice outlet of almost healing and escape as I dealt with a lot of health issues. So.
Sure, very good.
Yeah.
And music, of course, people can relate to that on many different levels, and specifically country music. How did you become interested in that?
Country music. Oh, I listened to like Carrie Underwood growing up, and Jesus Take the Wheel was one of the first songs I learned on the guitar, and remember going on YouTube and just learning strumming patterns for it. And Carrie Underwood was probably the biggest country artist, Dolly Parton, and now Lainey Wilson. But
sure.
Yeah, and listening to the radio and just hearing their amazing songs.
You can learn a lot by just listening to music on the radio, can't you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and just studying it and listening to their, melodies and lyrics and all the things and writing ability and then watching them, perform.
Yeah, you got ahead of me with my next question is going to be some of your favorite artists. So we were talking Carrie Underwood, Dolly Parton, Lainey Wilson. Anybody else in there?
Well, Blake Shelton, I feel like, has this incredible storytelling ability. I know Gwen Stefani is now in his life, but I don't think she's. But yeah, Blake Shelton, really on the opposite side of the spectrum. Christina Aguilera, more in pop. Love the emotion that she brings out of things. But I think music has this amazing ability to, especially country music, right? Tell a story and help us, relate to something. We can all pull something from a different song and relate to it in a different way, and hopefully be encouraged by it.
And Blake Shelton is such an interesting story of his background as well, where he became involved in country music after his older brother passed away. And he basically became the owner of all his country music albums and spent a lot of time listening to those and remembering his brother.
Yeah, no, and that, I think Miranda put it out with, what is it called? Over You.
Yes,
and that song, and just how powerful that is. Yeah, a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to watch the CMT Awards?
I didn't, only on Instagram,
Okay.
But I gotta watch it. But yeah, did you?
A little bit. I caught it here and there. I'm a big sports guy too, so I was flipping back and forth. So yeah, no, good show last night. Definitely worth if you get a chance to do it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out tonight.
Absolutely. And another big inspiration for you through the years, Jacleen, is horses, and that kind of intertwines with country music, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Oh gosh, well, cowboys and all the things in country, but it's funny because this song "Good For You." Back in 2020, I got furloughed from a job during COVID and all the things, and was like, what am I supposed to do now? And I felt like it was supposed to be music and horses, and I didn't know what that looked like. And one thing led to another, and I've been involved with horses my whole life, but went to a trainer down in Arizona for a horse training certification back last year in February. And horse trainer, his name's John Lyons. He had been here at Fleet Farm years ago. He's America's most trusted horseman, but just a genuine person. He was there, and we're sitting around a campfire, and he's just speaking words of encouragement to people and telling stories of horses and all the things. But little did he know I was at a pretty rough spot in life, and he just spoke some words that encouraged me and got me some hope and inspired this song, Good For You. So it's funny how horses and country music and all the things tie together.
Yes, indeed. And we'll be hearing Good For You in a little bit here this morning. But Jacleen, let's talk a little bit more about your career in music. You have released some other music in the past. How did everything get started for you?
Yeah, so back in 2020 when I got furloughed, and I was like, oh my gosh, music and horses, what is this going to look like? And I've written songs since I was 13, 14. And it was a record that I put out in 2020 called Look at Their Hearts. and it's just dedicated to people with disabilities and people who have walked through hardships in life, and those who have walked alongside them in that, and just encouraging people to look at people for who they are and not judge them for all the things that we usually do.
Now, when you put out music, of course, it's not just you singing. You need some folks behind you who helps you with that music.
Yeah, so in 2020 with Look at Their Hearts, I went down to Sweetwater Studio in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and had some session players there, Phil Nash and Dave Martin, and they did an incredible job. It's a very stripped down album, very raw, I guess, and real. And then, yeah, this new record, Good For You, I was just down in Nashville and had some amazing Nashville musicians on it. Oh my gosh, they are just incredible. So it's...
And you are an independent artist right now. Certainly you're not signed to a record label yet, but what are the challenges of trying to put out some music independently?
It's hard. All the things of promoting myself and walking into a radio station and saying, hi, do you want to play my song, right? Or, making sure that the album artwork is all done and everything's set to go on release day, and working with the digital distributors, all that. It just takes a lot of time, and I'm not well versed in it, so it's probably takes me about 10 times the amount of time that it would somebody who's a professional in it. But it's fun because I get to see all the pieces of it, right?
Yeah, fun seeing it all put together.
Yeah.
Jacleen Hess from White Lake is my guest on this Monday morning. It is April the 3rd. Jacleen, singing, of course, but have you picked up an instrument at all? Do you play anything?
I do, yeah. So my mom actually taught me piano when I was young. And so played keyboard a little bit. And then my dad played guitar. And like I said, I taught myself on YouTube a little bit too. So guitar and piano. And then in White Lake Band, Mr. Johnson was there teaching me flute. So
shout out to Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, yeah, I think he's retired now, but... Yeah, so kind of play all those things. I just played a show at the Cup of Joy in Green Bay on Saturday here, and so accompanied myself on keys and guitar, so it was fun.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about getting out and playing in front of some audiences. How much of that have you done? Do you have any shows upcoming?
I don't right now. I'm booked for some women's retreats in the fall this year, but just finished up this show at Cup of Joy in Green Bay and currently booking events, so...
Awesome.
Whoever's booking.
Yes, indeed. Jacleen Hess. And we'll let you give out that contact information a little later on, too.
Sounds
if
great.
Folks want to get a hold of you to maybe make an appearance at their event or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the new song, Good For You. You wrote this, I believe. Talk about the inspiration and how it came together.
Yeah, no, so it's an original. Like I said, I was down in Arizona last February, and it was just a rough time in my life. I had we thought we were going to lose my mom to some sickness right beforehand, and so I was in a very fearful state and kind of shut down, ready to quit in life, just stuck mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And this conversation around a campfire with John Lyons is, he didn't know the spot that I was in mentally, emotionally, and a couple things he said to me. One was, "You're not a quitter," and I was like, oh my gosh, but I feel like it, but nope, I'm still going. And he also said that only a person with great fear can demonstrate courage. And that was encouraging to me, I guess, because I was like, gosh, I have a lot of fear, so I guess I have a lot of courage.
It's good advice for anybody, whatever you're going through, just keep going, right?
Oh, we got to just keep going. It's a hard, there's hard spots in life, right? But thankfully we run into people that, say the right words at the right time, and they might not even know it. So kind of was inspired there. And then last year I had some switches in jobs and had kind of some rough seasons of losing housing and losing different jobs in different pieces. And so the piece of, okay, I can keep going, and that God is still proud of me and other people are proud of me, and it's not like I'm a failure or a quitter. So.
And you mentioned the song, of course, recorded in Nashville. Talk about the studio where it was all done.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So Hilltop Recording Studios, I got the address, I had it in my GPS, I'm driving down the road and I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong neighborhood. Like, I think this is the wrong place, because it's just like houses everywhere.
Sure.
And then you go and nope, it says Hilltop Recording Studio. So you drive up and there's an upstairs and downstairs, and they have 2 studios there, but it's one of the oldest recording studios. There's been the longest running straight through in Nashville, and they've had some really cool artists there, from Dolly Parton to Lainey Wilson. Awesome. And Johnny Cash and Vince Gill. And
I would imagine they probably have some photos around the studio of those folks when they were there. And yeah.
It's pretty amazing. You walk in there and you just feel like you're in a special place.
Good. Now as the song gets out and hopefully it picks up a little traction for you, what's next as you look ahead?
Yeah, so I have another single that I recorded down there that it's releasing sometime in May. I'm not going to give the date yet, But that song will be releasing, and then hopefully heading back down there before summer and recording some more music, and then just booking events and getting out there and playing for the nice people.
Sure, talking here with Jacleen Hess from White Lake this morning. Her new song is called Good For You. We're going to be hearing that in a little bit this morning. Jacleen, if listeners want to get a hold of your music, they want to purchase it, I guess everybody downloads music these days.
I know, there's no CDs anymore, right? Or I guess records are coming back a little bit.
We're making a little bit of a comeback, but yeah, everything's digital. I don't even know that I own a CD anymore, maybe in my basement, but I have lots of music, and how can folks get yours? Yeah,
so you can stream it digitally anywhere that music is found. So Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Pandora. You can purchase it on there too, on Apple Music and all the things. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, Jacleen Marie Hess. So yeah, look me up, send me a message, and reach out.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, absolutely. Contact her. You want more information on the music, and pretty much just reach out, like you just said, Facebook, whatever the case may be, and you'll get back to them.
Yeah, definitely. Love to hear from you.
Okay, very good. Jacleen Hess from White Lake. Jacleen, anything else you want to add here this morning before we play your song?
No, thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and I'm excited for this song to reach people's ears, and hopefully it brings them some hope and encouragement and tells them, hey, keep going. Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got this.
I do as well. And another song coming up in May. Come back and visit us, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks, Scott.
All right. Thank you very much. There is Jacleen Hess, my guest. She is a White Lake native and a resident, joining me this morning. And here is her new song, just released on Friday. It's called Good For You on Country 106.
Woo!
Yeah, good.